Hiya. Welcome to my Compound Life. I'm Jonathan. Good to see you. This is a channel where we build assets, we build habits, and of course, we build freedom. And by the way, I'm not gonna talk about assets or Bitcoin on this video. What I'll be talking about instead will be my small content creator journey on YouTube. There are things that I want to chat about this morning. So specifically in today's video, let me get past this first. Thank you. Okay, in today's video, well, I'm gonna talk about my views drop. Right, my YouTube views drop tremendously. So this is not a video to plead for subscribe to my video or do more views, like asking you guys to view my video a couple of more times, but I'm just kind of want to document my journey, especially when I kind of encountered some problem with YouTube, like recently. So this is basically that video, right? So especially if you're a small content creator and then you're starting out, and then, you know, especially you are a content creator that kind of create content, have a creative side, but at the same time you also have certain analytical skills that you kind of look into the YouTube creators, what do you call it, that creator platform, where it gives you a lot of analytics about why your videos are performing, why your videos aren't performing. So specifically, if you are someone who's new into YouTube and then you started to pay attention to all of this, this would be a video for you, right? So I've been creating videos on YouTube for quite some time. Especially for the past 3 months, I have kind of switched from laid back video creation onto a more aggressive daily content creation, right? Which I also want to highlight. It doesn't take me a lot of time to create, because I want to make it as smooth as possible, where I just, you know, wake up in the morning, I quickly consolidate some of the news that I'm receiving via email, via Google Alerts, via ChatGPT, etc., right? And then I'll quickly, you know, go through the market news, what's going on in the US, in Asia, and so forth, and then quickly compile a video. And of course, I don't tend to want to do a lot of edits, so I kind of force myself to have to do good enough job and do it all under one take, right? Which I want to do that, because one day what's going to happen is, rather than me filming the video, what I wanted to achieve is to stream it instead, right? So yeah, I'm a lazy person, a lazy content creator that want to get results without doing too much editing, right? So apology to that if you're expecting great edited video. You know, I might not be the right person to do so, right? But I do bring value. I hope I do bring value, right? So of course, I've accelerated my content creation to one or two videos per day, and of course, I know that my video will be a bit time sensitive, you know, because it matters for that moment. It matters for that few 24 to maybe 48 hours. So that's why every now and then I might try and create some evergreen video that's not really time sensitive. So by the way, I mean, I talk about personal finance, but somehow the channel ended up talking more about Bitcoin, because it's an asset that I've shown a lot more conviction, right? So on a daily basis, I would make all of this Bitcoin daily video to talk about Bitcoin price action, news that are affecting Bitcoin prices, hopium news, sad news, good news, or any news in general about Bitcoin, right? So in a way that would be more time sensitive because it matters for that 24 to 48 hours. So that's why I also know that I'll need to create some evergreen video that are maybe much more about personal finance, about assets accumulation management, or even for Bitcoin, right? So that's what I've been doing more consistently, and I've tried doing it in such a way that I do it in one take, less editing, because I'm lazy. Okay, so I think recently what I felt was all my video views just suddenly dropped tremendously, right? Okay, not tremendously. I'm such a small content creator. If you haven't already done so, hit the like, hit subscribe, because I'm gonna talk through you guys about my journey on YouTube, right? So I've been averaging out. So for the past months, for the months of November and December, I think my views are averaging around 300, 400, and 500. So it came to a point sometime in December, it was like 500 per day. Okay, per day, not per month. Okay, I know it's not a lot, like people have 500 views for one video, like in 1 hour, right? And for me to achieve it on my channel, I have to do so on a day. But anyway, long story short is what I've noticed, especially going through New Year's period, like the 31st of December, which I made video, by the way, go check that out, or even the 1st of Jan, right? My video view counts dropped to about 50s, 60s per day. Okay, there's an ambulance. Oh, I can't go into. Okay, never mind. Yeah. So I kind of felt beaten up, right? And especially these few days, some of my video actually dropped down to to about 10s and 20 views per day, right? So that was quite shocking to me. I think as a small content creator, it's shocking enough that you all of a sudden you felt that, have I done something wrong? Is YouTube banning me, shadow banning me because I'm creating naughty content? I talk too much about Venezuela. I talk too much about Trump taking control of Venezuela, Bitcoin, or I spoke too much about Bitcoin that maybe in the UK people cannot talk about Bitcoin somehow. So that's why it gotten me a bit concerned, and I want to share that with you guys because as a small content creator, you work hard, and then you want to see some results, and then as soon as you've seen some results, for me that would be the time in November and December, because I've ramped up into daily video content, and then immediately boom, January comes, all of your views starts to go down further, right? So it's disappointing, but of course don't get beaten up, because I kind of felt that it's all part of the algorithm. Maybe it's part of the algorithm, but at the same time I want to share with you guys what I have done that I think could have caused it, right? Which I will strongly recommend you guys not doing it, right? So obviously I don't think my content is of concern. I talk about Bitcoin, I talk about personal investment, I talk about Trump, maybe that could be a reason. I talk about different macro news that could be affecting Bitcoin price on a daily basis. I don't think it's the content that was the issue, but it was much more about maybe me posting the video on my Twitter, on my X account, right? So FYI, apart from me managing my YouTube channel, I'm trying to grow my audience base, but I also drop alphas on X too, right? So hit me out on X, my compound life. That's when I've started to seed out my video. You know, every now and then when I've posted my YouTube video, I would go into X and say, hey, check this out. Here you go, Bitcoin daily video, yada, 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 and then post that on X. So I've started to do that sometime in December, I believe. And maybe that's something that YouTube doesn't like. I'm sure they like it because, you know, you are promoting YouTube platform in a way. But I think one thing to take into consideration is, especially when you are a small content creator, right? What you want to do is to build up your audience base, your viewers, right? And the only ways to build this is essentially through organically and relying on the algorithm to bring you that audience, to bring you that viewer. And I totally value all of the viewers, all of the subscribers that subscribe onto my compound life. They are, which I'm proud to announce today, as of right now, video recording, I'm on 93 subs. I know, not a lot, but absolutely I value every single one of them, because these are individual that follows my content. You know, when I first started off, when I wasn't that great at video making, when my content absolutely sucks, and these are individuals that want to grow with me on this journey because they found my content to be of certain value, right? So as a small content creator, maybe that's what you need to do, and better in mind is not to overly promote your content and try to bring in audiences that might not be too relevant to your video. So that's something which I've stopped recently. I kind of felt, you know what, since I've created that video content on YouTube, let me just promote that a little bit on X, let me bring in more viewers, etc, etc. I think if you're a small content creator, stop doing that. Okay, just stop doing that. Purely just focus on YouTube. Just focus on YouTube first, right? And focus all of your efforts on YouTube, just so that in a way you can bring in the right audiences, right? So you can do so. You can go into Twitter or X and promote it much later, when you kind of grown a much bigger audience base, right? However, for a small content creator, you are trying to let the algorithm to identify your preliminary seed audience. Okay, maybe that's what you call them. So I used to work in marketing. We used to call them seed audience. You know, that's essentially when our clients, they onboard their first party CRM data to try to identify. So that would be the seed audience. And then within a much bigger pool where we'll leverage k-means clustering, machine learning techniques to identify more of such similar audiences, right? So I think, what you want to do, because your audience space are very, very, very tiny, right? For my case, I've only got about 93 subscribers, right? So the seed audiences itself is already very, very tiny, right? So you want to leverage YouTube to help you to identify, and the last thing you want to do is to bring in too much different viewers from different background that kind of affect the YouTube algorithms to identify the right set of audience, right? So that's something you need to stop doing. Like as soon as you created the video, immediately the next thing you'll be thinking, how do I promote it, right? So stop doing that. So 3 things I want to re-emphasize. Even your video views drop, just be consistent, continue to post even when your views drop. Don't go out posting your video on other channels just yet. Maybe by the time it grew much bigger, then you can do so, right? If you have to do it, if you feel like I definitely need to post it somewhere else, like on X, on Facebook, or whatever, right? Do it maybe after 48 hours time, right? Do it after 3 days, after 4 days, simply not immediately after you've posted it on YouTube, right? So yeah, take that into consideration. So 3 things: be consistent posting, don't get beaten up. Even when your view drops, continue to post. And then second thing is, don't go out posting on other channels yet, especially when you're a small channel, right? And the third thing is, even if you have to post, right, do it after 48 hours or much more longer period of time. Okay, so yes, it affected me a little bit, but you know what, I'm such a small channel, I don't really care. All I care about is, I just need to go through this process, be good at this process, and one day I'm sure I'll be better in my YouTube journey. Okay, that's it for now. Remember to drop a like, hit subscribe if you haven't, and let me know who you are if you're a new subscriber, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.